Good afternoon. My name is John Osborne, and I work with Market Lubbock. And we are very excited to be here today partnering with the City of Lubbock on a great announcement to help our community, our citizens that are obviously in great need. These last few months have been quite challenging for businesses, for individuals, independent contractors, all the way up to the big Fortune 100 companies. And all of our community in Lubbock has had that same challenge. And thankfully, our City of Lubbock has recognized this and positioned ourselves to be able to take advantage of federal dollars that are coming to our community to put them to use in a very rapid and way that directly impacts our small businesses, are individuals that are trying to just get to the end of the tunnel where things can start to improve. Last night, the City Council met and approved a program that is involving the CARES Act, in which funds are going to be established and grant programs established to administer those funds. And so I think if it's all right with you all, we'll start with Karen Murphy to talk about 4 of those funds. Karen?
Thank you, John. I'm Karen Murphy with Community Development, City of Lubbock. Our department has been very active already in providing utility assistance and rental assistance. And those are 2 of the programs that we're having additional funds through the Corona Relief Fund that John was speaking about. And then also we're adding a new component to that into the mortgage relief, mortgage assistance. So as you know, lots of people have been affected by coronavirus and the pandemic. So we have been able to assist through these 3 programs. CD, Community Development, will take all of these applications. We are partnering with Neighborhood House for rental assistance and with utility assistance, but we are taking, Community Development will be taking the applications. That's kind of different. Normally we push it out to our subrecipients and let them do the whole thing, but we don't want to overload them, so our staff has stepped up to do those applications. We're also doing an application process for the mortgage assistance, and we're asking that Lubbock Housing Finance Corporation will be doing the mortgage evaluation, assisting us with that. And then also childcare. So YWCA will be having the childcare funding. They will actually be receiving taking applications for families, individuals that are needing childcare, and work with the providers to be able to pay those providers directly, and then we will reimburse YWCA as well as for the rental and mortgage and utility assistance. Another thing that we have 2 opportunities, or several ways, but the initial way to probably get the application and be able to start the process for the public to know this is you can email us at cdinfo@mylubbock.us, and we'll be putting that out on our Facebook page and on our website, but also it'll have an online application. So it'll be on Community Development's website. Also, you can just call at 775-2296 to our office. We might have to take a phone message and get back to you, but we will definitely start the application process and get assistance out as quickly as we can.
Thanks, Karen. The final program that the City of Lubbock helped establish last night was the Public Health Emergency Microgrant Support Program. This is $1 million that has been put aside to establish grants for a couple of different categories of people and businesses. The first category is for an individual worker that has either been furloughed or they lost their job as a result of this pandemic, or that they even had just a reduction in their wages as a result of these challenging times. The other category is for businesses that are sole proprietors or independent contractors that their total gross revenues for the company are less than $75,000 or less. These are our really small businesses, and many of these companies and these furloughed workers are definitely hurting. Market Lubbock is helping to administer this program. What we've set up is a website at www.supportlubbock.org. You can go to that website. If you have questions, there's an email address that you can click on to ask questions. But the applications are in both English and Spanish on that website for both of these different groups. We have set a set of 3 tiers, $25,000 and less in gross revenues, between $25,000 and $50,000 in gross revenues, and $50,000 to $75,000 in gross revenues. The full $1 million we anticipate granting out in just over a week. So between now and Tuesday, this coming Tuesday at 5 o'clock, we'll be taking applications where once you apply, we'll verify a variety of different pieces of information in both categories. And if all the answers are set up to where you can then be in the applicant pool, then next Wednesday morning we will do a randomization to put those in the order that they should be funded, and then 40% of the $1 million will go to help fund those that are in the category of $25,000 or less. 35% will go into the $25,000 to $50,000 category, and 25% will go to the $50,000 to $75,000 category. We recognize that it's sometimes challenging for both the workers and the businesses to get those applications in. So this gives you the full week from last night to get those applications in by the deadline in order to be considered, and equal weight will be given to each and all who apply. The City of Lubbock will then look at that randomization and begin administering those grants as soon as we can get the information over there to them. So we definitely encourage those that have been affected by this pandemic to apply, both your small businesses and those workers that have experienced either a loss of revenue or a loss of their job. And we hope that this grant can help get you to the better times that lay ahead of us in our great city. Councilwoman Joy, thanks for yours, and Councilwoman Patterson-Harris, thanks for your support of all of these programs. You all were very instrumental in helping to guide the process for development of these. Councilwoman Joy, would you like to have a few minutes to chat?
If you haven't determined it, the name of the program is Support Lubbock, and it grew out of a need that we felt like was not met by some of the other programs. And so I want you to know that there are some eligibility requirements. For example, if you are a worker who may have lost a job or been furloughed and you are applying, you have to be a resident of the City of Lubbock. If you're a business owner, your business needs to be in the City of Lubbock. There were many, many people who did not benefit from PPP loans, from SBA loans, and did not obtain workers' compensation from the state and the federal government. If you received any of those, you would not be eligible for this program. It is truly for those people, the cracks, and perhaps either didn't know about applying for other loans, or they simply couldn't get the paperwork done. The paperwork's going to be very simple, so we're not requiring anybody to have a CPA in order to get that done. I think for Ms. Patterson-Harris and me, we want people to know about the program, and that's why we set a application date cutoff. And that cutoff is June the 16th at 5 p.m. So they do have a whole week to work on getting the applications in, because we don't want anyone to be left behind. Now, you may be wondering how this money is going to be distributed. It is a $3 million grant, and $500,000 of it initially goes to rental assistance, $500,000 to mortgage assistance, $500,000 will go to daycare, and $500,000 will go to utility assistance. Now, where does this money come from? We received, as the City of Lubbock, money from the CARES Act. And because we are a city of less than 500,000 people, that money has gone to the state of Texas, and they really are in charge of distributing those funds. On June 3rd this year, we received the first distribution, which was $2.8 million. And so we felt like that those funds need to go to our citizens who are most in need. So that's how it's being funded. $1.2 million from our general fund, because we have to apply for reimbursement to the state. And so we will have $3 million available as soon as these applications have been administered, and get this money out to people who really need it. I think that's about it, except I told Karen we need to repeat. Their phone number is 775-2296 if you want to call. And if you email, it's cdinfo at mylubbock.us. That number is 775-2296. There will be a lot of people who don't have computers, and they're going to make those phone calls, and we'll get applications to them if they're not able to do that electronically. So at this time, I want to call up Sheila Patterson-Harris. Sheila has been adamant that we get the word out that this program is available, and so we can get all of our citizens and give them an equal opportunity to apply for these grants. And they are grants, they are not loans, as some of the other programs were. We do have with us today and need to introduce, and would like to introduce, Glenda Mathis from the YWCA. Would you come up, Glenda? The YWCA has been gracious enough to say, okay, for childcare, they will handle those applications and those funds. And so you want to speak a little bit to that child care part, which is also $500,000.
Sure, I'm happy to. The applications for child care would be made directly to the YWCA, and that can be done. Just go out on our website, ywcalubbock.org. I really want to commend the City Council for looking at this child care portion. Sometimes child care can be as much as 30% of a family's income, and if you're trying to dig out from the ravages of the pandemic, child care can be an overwhelming component, but there is no better investment in our community's future than in child care. So I really commend the city, and thank you for holding that firm, and this will allow parents who have children in care at any child care center just to give us a call, any kind of arrangement that you may have for your child care, and we can either do it by phone or by website. So we are looking forward to getting that money out quickly. Thank you.
And just as a follow-up, the payments under mortgage interest, your utilities, those payments will be made directly to the lenders, not to the individuals. And the same is true on your child care. Those payments will be made directly to the child care provider. So if anyone's thinking we're going to be giving the money to the people and not have any way of knowing that it's used appropriately, that's not going to happen. It's going to be direct to the lenders and to the providers. So Joy Loper is here. Joy, you want to come up and tell us what you do? No, she doesn't. She's like, no.
She does a lot.
Yes, she does a lot, but she'll be working with with some of the assistants. She's with Neighborhood House, and we appreciate you all being willing to do this, as well as Market Lubbock who is going to handle these applications and get this money out. So, Ms. Patterson-Harris, you're on.
I won't be long. I just really came to stand and look pretty today. But I'm really excited. I think that since we've been over the past few months dealing with a pandemic that has impacted every citizen in this city in one way or another, that it only makes sense that we make sure that we assist or help however we can every citizen that we can within the city that was impacted. I think it just makes sense. I don't think that we pick and choose our groups that we do it, because everyone was impacted some way or another. So I want to say a huge thank you to the city staff, to Ms. Karen Murphy with Community Development that I am so familiar with and enjoy and appreciate all of the work that they do, to Ms. Glenda Mathis, to Ms. Joy, the work that you guys do tirelessly every day, to Mr. Osborne for your willingness and your organization to step up and say, man, we'll help with this thing. So I'm excited. Thank you, media, for being here. Man, we got some good stuff to report, huh? Good. And to Ms. Joy, thank you for working with myself and the other council members to make sure that this comes to fruition, to the other city staff who are here. That's all I got. I'm just happy to know that we're able to do what we're doing.
Great. Thank you all very much for being here. We're going to put on the website for supportlubbock.org, we're going to put all these different phone numbers and links to those different agencies that are helping, where you can find those applications. We'll put a little description about each of those different programs. We'll try to get that up here in the next hour or so. That website again is www.supportlubbock.org.
I was just going to remind folks that I noticed when I came in that we also have applications in the lobby of here at Citizens Tower for those citizens who may not have access to a computer.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. We have applications for the Microgrant Program, which is specific for those workers that have reduced incomes or lost their jobs, and for the independent contractors and sole proprietors. Those applications are right here in this lobby. They're also in the Market Lubbock's lobby, which is on the 6th floor of the Wells Fargo building downtown. Again, that website is www.supportlubbock.org. We're glad to take any questions or answer any questions that you all might have. But again, I want to thank the council.
Repeat that phone number, 775-2296. That sounds like an infomercial.
That's right. So, Matt.
So I think Lubbock's eligible for like $14 million from the CARES Act. So is this kind of the first phase?
That's correct, and there are 6 categories. These grants and what we're doing in this program is part of the last 3 categories. But this was the first distribution that we didn't. They just sent us a distribution, the 2.8. Everything else has to be done reimbursable. In other words, the city has to pay up front, and then we have to submit that claim to the state of Texas. Although we were supposed $14 million, we will, but it will be on a reimbursable basis going forward.
And then to qualify, does someone just have to show a loss of income in the past few months?
There is the process is that they have to provide an income tax return, just 1 year, and then they have to certify that they've not received any of these other funds, and they have to certify that they were working as of March 14th, 2020, and have lost their job or been furloughed. And there is a method to check to see if that's the case. If that's what.
Is there any requirement that businesses maintain their employees if they were to get this?
Remember, we're working primarily with sole proprietors and independent contractors, so they are the employee and the owner of the company. These are what we call our micro businesses here. The Small Business Administration terms a small business as 500 employees or less. These are truly people that every day they're going onto a job because of a contract that they've got, or because they've placed a bid on something and gone after some business.
Did that answer your question?
And could I just, about the business.
So they don't have any employees then?
Yeah, right.
And for the rental assistance and utility assistance and those, there's no income verification on those, and we do not ask for tax return. That is just going to be for the business or the micro grant. With ours, it's more self-certification, and we also look at, we actually will look at their bills to see if they're behind and why they're behind. So, like I said, we've already done rental assistance, we've already done utility assistance. The mortgage lending is the other component that we'd look at. And then, of course, Glenda would be the need if they've been, because we can tell which employees have been furloughed, laid off, loss of income, reduction of income. So Glenda will see that those are the needs that through the child care also. So it's a self-certification with us.
Are there any estimates as to how many people this will help? I think during the work session, someone mentioned a $4,000 max per.
On the Microgrant Program, we approved $4,000, which with $1 million in that program, that's 250 small businesses or individuals.
We do know from the unemployment rate going up that there are 10,000 people roughly that are unemployed at the moment. That doesn't include those workers that either had to have reduction of hours or they didn't get as many tips because they weren't waiters or waitressing at that moment. So we recognize that there's a even bigger need than what we can service. The feds have only sent so much money, and the state has only sent even fewer dollars than that. So for the moment, this is the programs that we've been able to establish that we think can help as many individuals as possible as far as those dollars would go.
Keeping in mind that the $2.8 million is 20% of that $14 million that we should be receiving. So there's still 80% out there for us to apply for and to get reimbursed. But we wanted this to happen quickly, but not so quick that we left somebody out, but to happen quickly and get the money dispersed. The money came to us on June the 3rd. So, and I do think it's good to make that distinction between the Microgrant Program, which is the one that benefits small businesses, sole proprietors, and individuals who lost jobs for one reason or another, versus the program. The city has always, through Karen Murphy's office, Community Development, has always had utility assistance and rental assistance, but the new components are child care with the YWCA and the mortgage assistance that Joy Loper, no, you don't do that.
Sherry.
Yeah, Sherry Flynn does. And so those are the kind of new two components. But all of it together makes a $3 million assistance to the citizens of Lubbock.